Before we get started here, guys, I want to throw out a big shout out and a thanks to everyone watching, all my old subscribers and all my new subscribers. I know I say this quite a bit, but I do appreciate it, guys. And I just looked at my YouTube account earlier today and noticed that I hit 101 subscribers, which is huge. It's huge for me. It may be a drop in the bucket for some people out there, but for me, that's gigantic. Many of you don't know, but I actually started this channel in February when I built this TF2. And I started the channel because I was sending videos to my brother via instant messenger. And I could only send short videos. And I wanted to start loading up some larger videos. And I decided to start putting them on YouTube. And once again, this was just for my brother, just so he could see what I was doing with my truck. And it's progressed to what it is today. So many thanks to all of you guys. I can't name all the names on here for all of my subscribers or to all the people that I'm subscribed to. But if you guys want to check out my channel, if you see your name on my channel as someone that I'm subscribed to, then, many thanks to you guys. And, once again, many thanks to everybody who's actually subscribed to me. Ben Brubaker, brother, it's been a long time since I've heard from you. Hope you're doing well. Ben Brubaker has a channel called Buy It, Break It, Fix It. Real good dude. Excellent guy. Good channel. Jerry Compton, he's another guy who's a faithful watcher. Watches pretty much all my videos and always has some crazy comments for me. Real great guy. I never really get a chance to give Jerry a shout out, but many thanks, Jerry. Much appreciated. All of you out there, I know I'm going to, not say anybody's names or I'm going to miss somebody's names, but, I thank every one of you. So if you're subscribed to my channel, I thank you. All right, so I wasted 2 minutes of your life, guys, and I'm sorry about that. So let's continue on here. Previous video, I was installing these Krat Boom Racing 2.2 aluminum wheels, and we just had one wheel finished, and we put one single row of weights around the wheel. Today we're gonna weigh all the wheels and see what the difference is on all of them, and we'll finish installing the rest of the wheels. Now I did 4 wheels off camera. The one wheel that you'd seen with a single row of weights around it. I did another wheel with a single row of weights around it. I did one wheel with absolutely no weights around it, which is sitting in the back of the truck currently. That big monster sitting back there, looking ridiculous. And I did one wheel with a double row of weights like this one sitting up here. So what I have left to do is one last wheel with no weights and this other one with the double weights. And since you had previously seen me assemble one with a single row of weights, I figured I'd let you see the double row and one with no weights. These wheels go together extremely easy. I mean, if you're putting them together with no weights, they go together in a snap. Probably one of the easiest wheels that I've ever assembled. Man, my camera is just diving back and forth here, and I'm sorry about that. So let's get started, and we'll start throwing these wheels back together, I guess, here. Or maybe we'll throw them all on the scale here before we actually start putting them together. All right, and we are back. Don't read too deeply into the scale, guys. That's just a postage scale that I picked up at a yard sale, so perfect for doing this kind of stuff. Not very accurate, but it works. So we'll get started here. Here's the one wheel that we put together yesterday with a single row of lead weights around it. We're sitting at 0 here. And we are at 13.21 ounces. So I believe that there's 16 ounces in a pound. So this guy is just short of a pound at 13.21 ounces. And we'll throw one on here with absolutely no weights in it. This one, all these tires have foam in them. This one just happens to have no weight in it. And we are 9 ounces on the nose with that guy. And I'll get into why I set up a set, or I built a set of wheels with no weights here in a minute. Here is our double weighted tire. This guy, man, this guy is heavy. It's gonna be curious to see whether she weighs in at. Wow, 17.55 ounces. That is over a pound. That is over a pound, man. That's a heavy tire. One heavy tire. All right, so double string of weights on this plastic ring. We'll see how much that weighs just by itself. And we are at 9.41 ounces. Pretty hefty. Pretty hefty. Let's check out a wheel without the plastic ring, and we are looking at 3.08. Let's add this lead ring to it here. We'll add the wheel with the hardware. Slap the tire up on top of it, and we are at 17.55. Well, at least I know they're even from tire to tire. And I think I have a naked wheel around here somewhere. Here we go. This is just one complete wheel. Oops, and I moving my piece of paper here, my balance. There we go, back to 0. 3.89. It's almost 4 ounces just for one wheel by itself. Alright, so our single row weights, we are sitting at, what did I say, 9.22 or 13.21. Okay, 13.21. And without weights, we are at 9 ounces. So roughly 4.21 ounces of weight was added to the single row wheels. Kind of want to make sure both of those single row wheels are equal here. 13.46. $13.21. Well, one's just a little bit heavier than the other. Only by a fraction, though. All right, so let's get the scale out of here. All right, we are back. You're going to have to excuse my phone positioning here. My tripod had a little problem and legs broke off of it when I was filming for my trailer hitch. I dropped the legs down a little bit too low on it and ended up snapping them right off. So right now the phone is being held up with a pair of vice grips. So I guess we're going to get this guy installed, the double ring of weights. This is pretty close on here. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but there is just enough plastic sticking out on either side that it still goes together okay. Tough part, trying to wedge it into the tire. And that just tore the cuticles right off of the top of my finger. I felt that with some lead. Alright, getting this balance is a tough part, so we'll put this on hold for 1 second. Alright, so I got one ring in place, somewhat centered in here, pretty close. And we'll get to slapping this guy together. Once again, making sure that I have that orange dot or yellow dot on the back edge. Not that it matters. Ideally, it'd probably be okay if it was on the front edge. It would probably show tire rotation on film a little bit easier. As like a marker, but nevertheless. Alright, so we got that guy in. She's sitting flush with that plastic ring on the inside. Now the fun part, getting this back edge back on here. Trying to make sure that I have it pretty much lined up with the screw holes. Getting that foam tucked in, that little excess foam that's sticking out the sides here, you might not be able to see it, but there's just a little bit there. That's probably the hardest part about doing this, is getting that foam tucked in and out of the way. So I'm going to get that tucked in and out of the way and get the first screw in there, and then we'll get started on this. Alright, so that was literally just like 1 second. I basically, you know, paused the camera and then just ran my finger around the inside and had it pretty much right where it needed to be. Trying to get this first one started, it's always a little bit tricky. Ideally, I'd probably be laying this flat on the table, but trying to give you guys a view at the same time. Just getting a couple threads in there. Sorry about that, I'm blocking your view with my hand here. Alright, I got all those pretty much started. Once again, using this dot for a marker, and we'll start doing our little turns here. Try and do like a half turn, or I'm doing a half turn on each one. I got a little bit ahead of myself yesterday and a little bit out of order on my crisscross rotation here. Since there's 5, I'm just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just keep repeating that process all the way along. You know, speaking of shout outs, if he's watching, big shout out to Aaron, aka Medic RC Sparks, man. That guy got me back into RCs. I may not know a lot about RC cars, but I've been around the block. I've been messing with RC cars, I don't know, since the early 80s, 1979, 1980, somewhere in that area. So I don't know everything about RC cars, but I know quite a bit. Not bragging or anything like that, just letting everybody know. If you know, got questions or stuff like that, you know, I can always help out with little things. Definitely don't know as much as Aaron, man. That guy is like the RC god as far as covering bases and whatnot. But big shout out to him. Like I said, when I got back into RCs, I was actually on Facebook and I seen a picture of a slash, or a video of a slash hydroplaning water, and was like, wow, that is super cool. And that kind of got me started back into it. And I started looking at, you know, different videos and this and that, and just stumbled across one of RC Adventurer's video, RC Sparks. He was doing some crawling in his backyard, that backyard crawler course that he has. And that just really caught my eye. I was like, wow, that is super cool. And yeah, it just took off from there. Got the TF2, and things just kind of progressed. But it was pretty much, other than that Traxxas slash hydroplaning water, I'd say the majority of the thanks and whatnot for me getting back into this whole hobby would be going to RC Sparks there. Just throwing that out there while we're tightening down some screws here. And then chit-chatting with people online here. The whole RC community is just fun, good time. You know, talking with everybody. You know, not necessarily even the big guys. You know, like Aaron. You know, I mean, I really appreciate it when he makes a comment about things. That's super cool. But you know, just talking to everybody else. You know, talking to Ben and Ben Brubaker from Buy It Break It Fix It, and Anthony from Triple X, and Christopher Paul from RC Scaletown, talking to all these different guys. You know, it's just cool, the commentary. JD Pazel, real cool cat. He's like a Traxxas king. He's got a ton of Traxxases. Sergey Wilimovich, he has a lot of mud videos. He's in Russia. Real big into mud and scale crawling and stuff like that. He's got a lot of cool videos. In case anybody wants to check out some good RC mudding videos, Wilimovich, look him up. And we are just about done here with this whole little mess here. Everything's hitting this last little squeaks. And there we go. Seems to be relatively centered on the wheel here. Same as on the front. So that is that's one done right there with the weights, double row weights. So we'll move on to the tire with no weights, which should be a piece of cake. All right, moving on to the no tire or no weights. Guess we'll start by taking this bad boy apart. All right. And that is that. Next step. Pretty much the same as the last, but don't have to worry about working around the lead weights in between the foam. So we'll take a second here and get this stuff squared away. Try to get this center ring balanced in between the foam here. Alright, and we are back. That is somewhat centered on there. You know, speaking of tire videos, there's a few tire videos out there, quite a few, as a matter of fact. Ben Brubaker, Buy It Break It Fix It, also did a nice video on how easy it was to put together beadlock wheels. Anthony, Triple X RC Garage, did another video as well when he was adding lead wheel weights to wheels. I'm not trying to copy anybody or emulate anybody. I'm just letting you guys know how these boom racing wheels go together and how easy they are to put together, along with adding lead wheel weights to them. So that's basically it for this. I'm not trying to show anybody up or anything like that. Just, you know, letting you guys know how easy it was to put these boom racing tires together. All right, so this is on here. The foam is pretty much balanced. Once again, I have both my fingers on either side of the tire as I was working around this, and then using my thumbs on either side. and just kept pulling the foam out on either side of that plastic ring while keeping the foam straight inside the tire, and just working my way around to make sure that I had that as center as possible in here. Just making sure that that aluminum wheel is making contact with that trim ring on the inside. Kind of bringing the bead up here, making sure that it's sitting proper before putting the back half of the wheel on. And I'm a little bit off, man. That's the first one. Usually pretty good at eyeballing this stuff. Alright, just need to get the foam tucked in here once again, which is a little bit of a tedious process. Kind of using my finger and pushing the foam in at the same time as pushing the ring down on the tire. Which is kind of futile at this moment, but we'll get this guy together here in a second. I'm going to do that off camera here, so I'm not eating up a bunch of time. And I got a little bit ahead of myself there, guys, and I actually got 2 screws started. Sorry about that. Did you miss anything? Not really. Not really. Just got the foam tucked in there and trying to get this mess started here. Alright, well, I think we basically got her somewhat started here. I'm going to just take the slack out of the ones that are slacking here. Find our mark. We'll start at the bottom of that circle there. Once again, going about half turn. It might be a full turn. I don't know. It's just memory with the screwdriver as far as how far I'm turning each one. You definitely don't want to start putting like 3 or 4 cranks on it, because then it's going to start getting uneven. You'll get those wobbly wheels. So as long as you pretty much stick to that crisscross pattern and you tighten everything down relatively evenly, you shouldn't have a problem with the wobbly wheel syndrome. And I might have just got a little bit ahead of myself on that last screw up here. I might have turned that a little bit too much, but sometimes, like I said, I just kind of go off a feel. Which gets me in trouble quite a bit. I have a bad habit of over tightening things with not just with RC cars, but with anything in general. I usually don't find out. I usually learn my lessons the hard way with it when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like breaking a spark plug off on the inside of a cylinder head. And then trying to get it back apart. Alright, so we're eating up a lot of time here, guys. I'm probably just going to, I probably should just put the camera on pause until I finish this up. And we're getting down to our last couple turns here. Just about, that one stopped. Just about there. It's pretty close. So I'm a little bit off on my turns. Quite a bit off on the turns. But that's just pretty much the finishing touch. Already have it torqued in for the most part. Everything seems to be countersunk okay. Alright, last wheel. Done deal. So I guess we'll go through this kind of quickly here. Alright, so with the wheels, why did I put two together with no weights, two together with one row of weights, and two together with two rows of weights? When it comes to the truck, my TF2, it's heavier on the back than it is on the front, mainly because of all the junk that I have sitting in the bed of the truck. So I'm trying to balance things out. Same with my twin hammers. The twin hammers is a little bit heavier in the back just because it has the battery that rests in the back. Same with on my WL toys. So like in the case of the WL toys or the twin hammers, I might want to run 2 tires with no weight on the back of that truck and let the battery compensate for that, and then use 2 tires with a single row of weights on the front of the truck on the twin hammers, you know, just for digging and hill climbing and things like that, just to try to balance the weight out a little bit more. On the TF2, same thing. I might put no weights on the back, 1 row on the front, or possibly 1 row on the back and 2 rows on the front, depending on how everything balances out with that gigantic spare tire in the back. Because once again, we already know that this thing weighs 9 ounces on its own. So that's quite a bit of weight to compensate for. So that was the reasoning for why I put the weights together in the form that I did, with 2 rows on one set of tires, 1 row on another, and absolutely nothing on the second set or the last set. Well, alright guys, that's basically it for the tires for right now. That's it for this video. We have all 6 tires put together. Have all these leftover foam pieces from the wheel containers, which almost look like subwoofer boxes. That's what I see, subwoofer enclosures. Nevertheless, got them all together. The next video will be trying to retrofit these tires onto the truck, and possibly doing some suspension lifting to the truck to accommodate that. Once again, there's a little peek at the hitch ball on the back of the truck. That was a custom fab there. That is for my boat trailer, which is a drive shaft universal off of a WL Toys. Worked out pretty good in testing. I did actually roll my truck over in one of the videos. I didn't show it on video. I have it on video. But rolled the truck over and the trailer stayed upright. So it worked out perfect. Enough flex on there. And just FYI, since we're here and I got a couple more minutes left, taking a peek at the trailer here and that custom hitch that I made on the front. That is the other end of that drive shaft universal. I was using a paper clip to hold it together, but I found a body pin that works really well for fastening this together. So this whole little hitch unit actually works really well off-road. All right, so that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Very much appreciated once more. Celebrating 101 subscribers with finishing up on these wheels and tires. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching once again, and we'll see y'all on the next video.